Hello, Transurfers and the Transurfing Curious. I am Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV, the only official YouTube channel endorsed by Vadim Zeland himself, the author of Reality Transurfing. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so now. We really like when we see little names pop up of new people subscribing. It makes us all very happy at ITI. And if you have not joined us on the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group, this is a great place. It's a very magical place. It's a very funny place. There are a lot of funny transurfers on there saying all kinds of interesting things and going deep and making light of life. So if you would like to be a part of this, the link is below. So a little bit of a heavy one today, and I am doing this because I have had a number of private messages lately from people that I really feel are just resonating so hard with being a victim or having victim mentality or not being able to get over things. And you know, a lot of the things that I hear, it's kind of backwards. It's like they want to create their own reality, but they don't realize that they need to take care of this victim mentality first, because that victim mentality is a very low vibrational mentality, and it's not really possible for you to build a super cool reality where you're going towards your goals and your dreams and you're excited and everything's looking up in life, and you still have this thing that's holding you back. So you really have to go after victimhood first before you can do anything. And I feel that I can speak about this, and I'm going to be very candid with you all here, just so you know that I'm not running my mouth without being sensitive to other people. I have been victimized in the past. I'm no longer a victim. I've been a victim of domestic violence. I was in an abusive marriage for 5 years. I was sexually abused when I was a child. I was abused physically in my childhood. I was abused mentally. So I've suffered a lot of abuse. I really resonated with that thing for a lot of years, and I think I attracted more of it just because of my mentality, and I know that's harsh to hear. But the way I like to look at it is this: you're only a victim for a moment. You're only a victim in the act, okay? Once the act is done, you are into a new frame. You are into a new reality. And if you choose to remain a victim in that future frame and vibrate at that frequency, then you are carrying forward with you that victim mentality. But again, this is mentality, right? This isn't something that's actually happening to you anymore. It happened once. It's not happening now, but you're mentally still vibrating at that frequency. So one thing I'd like to state is playing the role of the victim is one of the oldest roles that a person can play. And I think the reason that we go to this place so easily, and it's such an easy spot to fall into, is that when you do that, one really doesn't have to take any accountability. You're always able to place what is going wrong or what has gone wrong or what isn't right or why you haven't succeeded or why life sucks or why you can't get ahead or something. You can always use that as your scapegoat, right? This is the part that it really does not do anything for you. Doing this keeps you in a stuck place, and it doesn't do anything to help you now. So society celebrates victimhood, helps. So pendulums, they love a victim because a victim triggers emotion in other people, getting them to adhere to the pendulum. So when you see something on the news, let's say mother of 4 murdered, and you're like, oh my God, that's horrible. Then that pendulum's hooked you via your emotion, and they're using the victim as bait. So our current culture, we live in a victimized culture that celebrates victims. And the reason again is because it is food. It is very, very, very yummy food for pendulums. So we are geared in that way. So when we see this being an active way that pendulums go about getting adherence, we're resonating with that. And then it's easy for us then to say, well, I'm a victim too, right? The whole Me Too movement. I mean, what a bunch of, let's all resonate at being a victim, and how is that going to help anything? So that's I won't go into that too much because I know that's super controversial, but I thought, what a shitty movement. There's other ways of going about it, being able to produce something of a higher frequency, being able to produce something of a higher value, really. Bad stuff happens. Abuse, trauma, accidents, dysfunctional relationships, neglect, loss, losing someone tragically, right? Playing the victim robs you of any potential happiness, and then it repels others. So this bad thing happens to you, you continue to resonate at this frequency, you don't accept accountability for your role or the fact that if you want to move forward, that's up to you. What happens is it robs you of any ability to actually be happy in the presence of that victim resonance. And then people don't want to be around you. So this is a horrible thing, actually, but it's so true. And we all probably know someone who plays the victim far more than they should, and they become unattractive. You don't want to be around them, because if you are a high frequency person, you're definitely not going to be resonating with a person suffering from victim mentality. So it's about you getting yourself in the best position you can get in energetically to where you don't repel others, and you can actually grab some of that happiness, because again, that happiness is going to be hard to hold on to if you're resonating at that frequency, because that frequency is not happiness. So when you can reflect and accept your role, whatever it was, your role in things, whatever happened, and start making other choices, taking other actions, reality will start to change. And I'm going to get to a very, very crucial tip at the end of this. But really, this is what happened for me, is I started to really think deep down. Just like I said earlier, I resonated with being a victim. Therefore, I attracted more people that victimized me. And it wasn't until I stopped feeling like a victim that I no longer had people in my reality that would do anything messed up to me. And this was really the key. It wasn't about other people. It was about me. I was resonating at that frequency. I was on that track. Therefore, I was on the track that people acted poorly and gave me more of what it was that I was resonating with. So when I started to shift my thoughts, I'm not a victim, I am not somebody that's suffering from victimhood, and put myself on a different track, elevate my frequency, I have people that would never do stuff to me anymore. This is going to sound like a really, really, really harsh statement, and I'm sorry for anyone that is triggered by this or if this hurts anyone, but this is what I finally had to tell myself. Whatever happened to you in your past, no matter how messed up it is, no matter who was at fault or why it happened, nobody cares now, okay? Nobody cares now, and no one is coming to help you. Nobody is going to come and help you. Nobody cares. It is up to you now to take some of these tools. Read Reality Transurfing if you haven't already. Develop some other tools, whatever you need to do to heal yourself and move on. Because if you haven't gotten what you needed to in order for you to resolve this and move on, it's not coming, okay? So it's time for you now, for you to do the work. And if you don't do the work, then you're just gonna remain in the same place. And I'm sorry again, if that sounds harsh. I had to finally wake up. I did it in my 30s, and I said to myself, okay, that's it. Nobody cares and nobody's coming. It is time for me to do this on my own now, because if I don't, I'm just going to stay here. So that's what I did. If you want to truly heal yourself, start acting as though you are healed now. This is really what I did. I was like, God, I just need to figure all this stuff out and why this happened and who did it and why and all this stuff. And I realized resonating with that past, playing that victim, it was not allowing me to move forward. What I needed to actually do was start acting like the person that I thought I would be once I did resolve all that stuff. I would actually start acting like a healed person. I would actually start acting like a person that put it behind me. I wouldn't bring things up to family members anymore. I wouldn't look at self-help crap online. I would just start acting like that person that was healed, that saw the issues be resolved, that moved on. Maybe I imagined that somebody cared and gave me an apology or whatever. Whatever it was, I just let it go and I started acting in the direction of the person that I thought doing all that past stuff would get me to. I started acting like that first, and sure enough, then I was out of victim mode. I was out of feeling sorry for myself, and I was in a different place. I was connected with my higher self, and I was on a different track. And this is really the most valuable thing. Advantage is huge. This is really my top key to stop playing the victim role. Find the advantage in what happened. If I could go back and rewrite history, okay, if I could go back to my childhood and I didn't suffer any abuse or any sexual abuse or any physical or emotional, and I got all my needs met and I wasn't neglected, if I could go back and change all that stuff right now, I would not do it, because if I did that, I wouldn't be able to do this right now. I wouldn't be able to stand up here right now and tell people there is a way, or this is what I did, or this is how I see it. And you can get through it. You don't have to carry this stuff with you any longer. So for me, finding the advantage in that past stuff, man, it was all for the best. My world really was taking care of me, because now I can use that stuff to try to help other people. In accepting the advantage in the situation, I have completely eradicated any feelings of being a victim to anything. I'm not a victim. I am a fucking warrior, right? I'm not a victim, I'm a warrior. When you no longer find value in playing the victim, healing is instant. I said this on ITI Facebook group the other day, and this is really the truth. When you no longer find value in playing the victim, healing is instant. So I just had enough. Enough was enough. I wasn't going to do it anymore. I didn't find value in it anymore. As soon as there was no more value, I started to heal rapidly, and this is absolute magic. Forgetting is challenging, remembering is worse. So I know for a lot of people, saying, oh gosh, to forget so hard. That's so hard. What are your options? Remembering it is worse. Remembering it is going to keep you in a stuck place. Remembering is going to keep you resonating at that low frequency, on that low track, attracting more of the same. So again, forgetting is challenging. I know, find the advantage, move on, but remembering is way, way worse if you continue to dwell on things that happened in the past that you have absolutely no control over changing right now. I'm going to leave you all with a quote. This is from Dr. Phil, and he's kind of a weird dude. I don't really like him very much, but there is one quote that I saw from him a couple years back, and I'm going to state it now. It's a little odd, but it is true. Let me know your thoughts on it. Dr. Phil says, "There are no victims. There are only volunteers." So if you are continuing to resonate with that victim mentality, you are volunteering yourself. You are wrapped up in a pendulum that really isn't serving you or anyone else. So again, there are no victims, there are only volunteers. So for all of you that have messaged me recently talking about these things, and coming from a place where you feel victimized by your reality, start trying, go through this video and take some notes and start trying to resonate at a different frequency. And most of all, again, and I know I said this, but this is really my number one key: find the advantage. Find the advantage, because that will completely dissolve all your negative feelings about what it was that happened. And I wish you all the best. And I know that this is a little bit of a, tough love kind of video, but I think in this circumstance, something needs to wake the folks up that are doing this. And I hope this video does it. So thank you so much, guys. Please like this video if you do in fact like it, and comment or send questions if you have any. Bye.